There's a pain that every man has felt at some point. The feeling of being undervalued by someone he gave everything to. You gave your time, your attention, your loyalty, and your heart, yet somehow, she still looked past you. You tried to understand her moods, you tried to fix things, and even when you were broken, you still showed up, but she didn't value it. In the silence of your mind, you asked, "What did I do wrong?" But the truth, my brother, is often much simpler than your emotions will allow you to see. You are not always devalued because of her actions. Sometimes, you are devalued because of what you allowed. In this video, we'll uncover the 10 deep reasons why she doesn't value you, explained through the lens of Stoic wisdom, a philosophy that teaches calm strength, emotional balance, and self-control. If you're a man searching for clarity, inner peace, and the courage to rise above emotional pain, this message is for you. Stay until the end, because your peace and your power depend on what you understand next. And before we start, remember, subscribe to this channel for more Stoic life lessons that will sharpen your mind, strengthen your heart, and guide you through the storms of life. 1. You gave without boundaries. A Stoic man gives, but he never loses himself in his giving. Many men mistake love for sacrifice. They believe the more they give, the more they'll be valued. But in truth, constant giving without self-respect breeds familiarity, and familiarity breeds contempt. When you overextend yourself to prove your worth, you teach her that your value is in your effort, not in your essence. She begins to see you as available, not valuable. Epictetus once said, "If you want to be loved, love yourself first." You must understand that real love is not measured by how much you can give, but by how much you can maintain your integrity while giving. When you give too much, you lose mystery. When you lose mystery, you lose respect. And when respect dies, value follows. To regain her respect, you must first regain your boundaries. Stop chasing validation. The Stoic does not beg to be seen. He stands so firmly in his truth that the world cannot look away. 2. You seek validation instead of self-approval. A man who seeks validation is like a traveler begging strangers for directions to a home he already owns. You look at her expressions, her tone, her texts, hoping for signs that she values you. But by doing this, you surrender control over your peace. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you depend on others to define your worth, your mind becomes their playground. She doesn't value you because she senses your need to be valued by her. The moment she realizes that your emotions rise and fall based on her attention, she subconsciously pulls away. A Stoic man does not seek approval. He seeks alignment between what he believes and how he lives. When your peace becomes independent of her recognition, you become unshakable. The man who approves of himself radiates calm confidence. That's the kind of man a woman values, not because he demands it, but because he embodies it. 3. You forgot your purpose. A man without purpose becomes easy to overlook. When you build your life around her, you stop being the man she was drawn to in the first place. She once admired your ambition, your discipline, your quiet drive. But now, she sees you sitting still, orbiting her world, instead of building your own. The Stoics teach that purpose is the compass of a man's life. Without it, you drift, and when you drift, others steer for you. She doesn't value you because you've stopped valuing your mission. Love is not meant to replace purpose. It's meant to accompany it. A man in pursuit of his purpose is magnetic. He's not chasing her, he's chasing meaning. The more you embody direction, the more people, including her, are drawn to follow your path. Reclaim your focus. Rebuild your ambition. Don't let your emotions become an anchor. Let them become fuel. 4. You fear losing her more than you fear losing yourself. Every time you compromise your values just to keep her, you trade your power for temporary comfort. You say yes when your heart screams no. You tolerate disrespect in the name of love. But a Stoic knows, the man who fears loss is already enslaved by it. She doesn't value you because she feels your fear. She sees that you'd rather lose yourself than risk losing her, and that's when she knows she has control. Real strength comes from detachment, not indifference. It means loving her deeply, but never at the expense of your peace. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Be brave enough to lose what's not aligned with your dignity. When you fear nothing but dishonor, you rise in quiet power. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. The moment you stop fearing loss, you start gaining respect. 5. You confused attention with affection. There's a difference between being wanted and being valued. Attention can be temporary. Affection can be selfish. But value is earned through character, not charm. Many men mistake a woman's attention for love. They believe the constant messages, the laughter, the time spent together means they're special. But sometimes, attention is only interest, not investment. When she senses that you crave her presence more than you protect your peace, she learns how easily she can manipulate your emotions. The Stoic man understands that not every smile hides sincerity. He does not react to every glance, nor does he chase every whisper of affection. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." So too is attention, fleeting, uncertain, and fragile. She doesn't value you because you placed her attention on a pedestal. You made her presence the source of your joy instead of making your peace your foundation. When you stop chasing attention and start embodying composure, she'll see the difference between a man who needs love and a man who is loved. 6. You try to impress instead of inspire. The modern man often mistakes performance for presence. He buys gifts, changes his style, acts differently, all to win her approval. But every attempt to impress is a silent confession. I'm not enough. A Stoic man doesn't seek to impress. He seeks to inspire, through discipline, self-respect, and inner calm. Impressing comes from ego, inspiring comes from essence. When you try to impress her, she senses that your confidence depends on her reaction. When you live authentically and pursue growth, she feels the gravity of your presence without you needing to prove it. Epictetus taught that you become what you give your energy to. If you give your energy to appearances, you'll always fear exposure. If you give your energy to becoming wise, calm, and capable, your worth will speak in silence. She doesn't value you because you're too busy performing for her applause instead of standing in your truth. The Stoic man's power lies not in his display, but in his depth. 7. You avoided conflict to keep the peace. There's a kind of weakness that hides behind politeness. You told yourself, "I don't want to argue," when deep down, you were afraid to confront her disrespect. You avoided conflict because you didn't want to lose her, but in doing so, you lost your self-respect. The Stoics valued truth over comfort. They believed that peace born from silence is not peace at all, it's avoidance. When you suppress your truth to maintain harmony, you create quiet resentment, and resentment always kills connection. She doesn't value you because you trained her to believe you'll accept anything. You taught her that your voice can be ignored, that your opinions can be dismissed, that your emotions are optional. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." To speak your truth calmly, even when it risks rejection, is one of the purest forms of courage. You don't have to shout to be heard. You just have to mean what you say and say what you mean. That's how respect is earned. 8. You lacked emotional discipline. She doesn't value you because your emotions control you instead of you controlling them. Every time you reacted impulsively, through anger, jealousy, or desperation, you revealed that your peace depends on her behavior. But Stoicism is emotional mastery. It doesn't mean suppressing feelings, it means directing them. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you allow her moods to dictate your energy, you give her the remote control to your soul. A Stoic man remains calm, not because he feels nothing, but because he understands everything. When she sees that your emotions don't shake your composure, she begins to respect you differently. Calmness is rare. Discipline is magnetic. Peace is powerful. You don't win her respect by reacting. You win it by showing that nothing external can disturb your internal balance. 9. You forgot that respect comes before love. Love without respect is like a flame without oxygen. It cannot last. Many men believe that if they love harder, she'll love deeper. But love built without respect becomes dependency, not devotion. She doesn't value you because you gave her your heart before she earned your respect. You let emotions blind you to reality. You accepted behaviors that disrespected you, thinking love would fix it. A Stoic man knows respect must precede everything. It's not pride, it's principle. You cannot be truly loved if you're not truly respected. When she sees that you hold yourself to a high standard, she will either rise to meet you or fall away. Both outcomes bring peace. Seneca once said, "He who respects himself is safe from contempt." The man who honors his values above his desires cannot be devalued by anyone. 10. You gave her the power that belongs only to you. The final reason she doesn't value you is this: you gave her control over your happiness. You made her the center of your universe, and when she walked away, your world collapsed. But the Stoics teach that no person should hold that much power over another. Freedom comes from within, from mastering your desires, not from being fulfilled by others. You must understand this truth. The woman who truly values you will never ask you to abandon yourself to love her. And the woman who doesn't value you will never see your worth, no matter how much you give. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." To reclaim your value, reclaim your self-control. Detach with dignity, love with awareness. Move with peace. When you become the source of your own happiness, you no longer chase value, you become it. Conclusion: this video has been about why she doesn't value you. Not to blame her, but to awaken you. Every moment you spend understanding yourself, you grow beyond emotional dependency and into self-mastery. Remember, value begins within. No one can see your worth until you recognize it yourself. And brothers, our next video will be on what to do to remain valued. It will teach you how to sustain respect, maintain discipline, and live as a Stoic man of unshakable peace. So if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Don't miss out on the life lessons that every man must learn. Lessons that will help you rise, think, and live above the noise. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Be the man who values himself so deeply that the world has no choice but to value him too.